Hey man, what it do YouTube? It's your boy back again with a video, man. We got the Madden 26 franchise and presentation. Oh, get ready. Go check him out. Link in the description. You know he's the man news god. He's gonna break it down for you and do it till you're dirty. You feel me? But make sure you got like, share. We on that way to 3,000. I'm definitely gonna do Def Jam Fight for New York when we hit it. So looking forward to that. I think we need like 130, something like that. I ain't checking it right now. But yeah, let's get straight into it, man. Ain't got no time to waste.
The Madden 26 franchise mode and presentation deep dives just went live, and there's a ton of information to cover. This video is sponsored by EA, as they did give me this information a little bit early so that I could get this video ready quickly for you guys. Now, for franchise mode, EA did release a trailer and a deep dive blog. For the presentation portion, they just released a blog and some screenshots. So we're going to cover franchise mode first, and then towards the end of the video, we're going to cover presentation, which got a big overhaul this year. And if you don't want to miss the rest of the Madden 26 news and gameplay that I'll have coming soon, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss those important vids. For franchise mode in Madden 26, they said first that they wanted you to feel like a real NFL head coach every single...
Hold on. First pause off. Look at the hairstyle that you don't even got this in 2K. All right, come on now. All right.
Important vids. For franchise mode in Madden 26, they said first... all this year.
When it comes
if you don't want to miss the rest of the Madden 26 news and gameplay that I'll have coming soon, make sure to subscribe.
When it comes to like actual team gear, we don't have that shit in 2K. You realize that? Like 2K15, when we had the practice shirts, that was cold. The track suit warm ups, we don't really got it. Actually, I think we do got it. It just don't look good at all. That shit look bummy as hell. Like, can 2K? Come on. I'm saying, like, I want to wear some. I want to have some clothes that might be cheap, but I can still, you know what I'm saying, get fleeing.
NFL head coach every single week, all season long. Whether it's building your staff, adjusting your strategy, or preparing for your next opponent, they want your decisions to matter. Secondly, they focused on making sure every game feels different. From AI behavior to player traits to weather effects and opponent tendencies, they want each matchup to feel unique and bring new challenges. And they said on top of that, they want Monday nights to feel special. They want you to feel the shift in atmosphere when the calendar flips to December. They want you to see what's going on around the league via halftime shows and weekly recaps.
So
they've done a lot of work in bringing more life to the mode this year. But what's funny here is before they even get into any of the features and things that they changed, it said their number one priority was that they wanted screens to load quicker, and they said that they definitely know that we wanted them to load quicker as well. It said that they spent a lot of time in development making sure the screens would load quicker, and it said that they agreed that they felt sluggish and they wanted to make sure that they addressed that right away. It says we know it's not the most exciting change to the mode this year, but we know you'll appreciate it and it should definitely improve your experience. And I know this is kind of funny, but it actually is a really big deal. The menus the last few years have been incredibly sluggish, and that takes away from the mode in a big way because it is a mode where you're constantly having to click in and out of a bunch of different screens. There's a lot of things that you have to tinker with, and when the screens load slow, it makes you not want to play it. So this is actually good if they did address this. So let's talk about coach creation. It says in order to make sure your coach feels like you, they need to look the part. Custom coaches got a massive overhaul with 200 new heads to choose from when creating your coach. There's also a ton of new gear exclusive for custom coaches. With more than 50 new shirts, 15 pants, and 40 shoes, you can make more than 30,000 combinations to wear on the sidelines. We kind of already knew this because they've touched on it a little bit already, but yes, coach creation is now finally up to par, which is good. Now let's move on to your coaching archetype. Now for Madden 26, every coach is going to fall into one of three archetypes: offensive guru, defensive genius, or development wizard. Your chosen archetype will shape your ability path and growth. Created coaches will start at level 1 and can reach level 50 by earning coach XP through goals, seasonal, career, and now in-game weekly goals. And as you level up, you'll unlock new abilities tailored to your archetype. All real-life coaches are also assigned an archetype with fitting abilities. So what it looks and sounds like is they're kind of taking after what they did in the college game. The college coach system was a lot better than what they had in Madden. The way you upgraded coaches, got abilities, built out your staff, it was done pretty well, and it looks like they're just kind of taking that over to Madden now. Hey, I think that's a good change. That brings us to the coach ability metagame. Madden 26 will introduce coach abilities reflecting real NFL coaching traits. They come in two types: game day abilities, which impact live gameplay, and seasonal abilities, which affect team performance over time. At launch, there's going to be 46 game day abilities, 22 offense, 24 defense. Some will boost stats while others change in-game interactions. For example, the short hands ability will give your receivers a higher chance of catching passes, but you can counter that with the Mr. Dream ability, which gives your defenders an increased chance of knocking out the ball. And here are some other examples on the screens of abilities and the different tiers and what they do at different tiers. So again, kind of similar to what they do with college abilities. And you can see here on the screen just a few examples of what you could equip to your coach, and this will help your team perform on game day. Now, when it comes to season abilities, there are 28 of these at launch, focused on off-field elements like player development, scouting, and staff building. You can use the Practition ability for more training XP, Scout's Honor to hire more Tier 3 scouts, or Stud Finder to boost scouting on QBs. These abilities help shape your franchise over time.
Man, this show fucking cooked, man. I'm not watching this shit, man. I'm not watching the second season. I don't know what the hell they was on that shit, man. Get the fuck out of here. Come on, bro. I gotta watch 15 seconds. I'm wasting time. That's what's it. So how y'all been? I just watched the Phoenix shit jingles on Overwatch. She looking dope.
About
man.
tiers and ability progression. Coach abilities in Madden 26 have 4 stackable tiers that increase their power. You can upgrade them via upgrade goals or staff points, but if a knockout goal is hit first, the ability can drop a tier or be lost entirely. Once an ability reaches tier 4, mastery goals lock in each tier permanently. Goals can come in the form of single game day goals where you have to perform a task in game, or cumulative goals tracked over time, adding depth and replayability to coach progression. So basically these abilities can tier up or tier down based on your coaching performance, but once you max them out, then you should kind of have them locked in, it seems like. Because in theory, you have mastered that part of coaching. Now, you also can build game plans this year. Weekly strategy and franchise mode has been overhauled to emphasize coach abilities and real strategic decision making. You can manage 3 loadouts, staff, play sheet, and trainer, with staff loadouts acting as your weekly game plan. Now, created coaches start with 3 ability slots, while top tier coaches get 6. Each week, suggested abilities auto-fill based on your matchup, but you can customize freely. A new matchup panel shows team comparisons, key injuries, and opponent coach abilities, bringing deeper weekly prep to every game. Which brings us to coordinators. It says coordinators finally matter. In Madden 26, they play a major role in team success. If you're an offensive head coach, your defensive coordinator handles all the defensive abilities, and vice versa. Strong coordinators help balance your weaknesses and expand your weekly strategy. They come in different experience levels and can progress, regress, and master abilities just like head coaches. Coordinators also have their own goals that earn coach XP, making their development key to long-term success. So again, going back to college, it sounds like they're just integrating more of the college style of coaching from dynasty mode.
Hey man, shout out to Scott O'Gallagher, man. Shout out to Scott, man. You don't put on for this game, man. Shout out to Scott.
Into Madden, which is a better system, so this should be very big for franchise mode. Now let's talk about play sheets. Probably one of the bigger changes they're implementing, at least that's what it sounds like to me. It says that play sheets in Madden 26 are basically mini playbooks that add unique plays to your base playbook. This is what real life coaches do on game day. They have 4 tiers. Tier 1 unlocks the play sheet, while higher tiers give player boosts during those plays. Play sheets level up or down using the same upgrade, knockout, and mastery system as the coach abilities. So here are some examples of play sheets. You have a West Coast play sheet, for example, based on the classic scheme that rose to prominence in the 1980s. The West Coast play sheet focuses on ball control, rhythm, and high percentage passing concepts. So as you can see, the different tiers you'll get if you're running the West Coast play sheet. Coaches with this play sheet would include Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, Jim Harbaugh, and Matt LaFleur. Here's another play sheet, wide empty. Utilizing 5 wide receivers in every inch of the field, the wide empty play sheet will spread the defense out to the max, stressing defensive backs and forcing them to cover every blade of grass. And here's some example of what the play sheets do at different tiers. Coaches with this play sheet, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, Kevin O'Connell, and Kellen Moore. And there's more examples in the blog, but I think you kind of get the gist of it. You'll have a play sheet loadout with up to 4 slots based on the coach level that lets you bring extra plays into each game. These play sheets integrate into your play calling menu with their own tab, showing all equipped play sheets, their tiers, and performance stats, making them easy to access and track in game. Now let's move on to managing your staff. This is going to be key in Madden 26, with abilities now extending to coordinators and trainers. You can use the Coach Central Hub to track staff goals, unlock abilities, and shape your strategy. If your staff doesn't fit, the Coach Carousel lets you fire and replace them. Job Security tracks coordinator stability, updating with team performance. CPU teams use the same system, so your top coordinators can be hired away, keeping the competition fierce. Coach Central plus approval ratings. This is something else that's interesting here. Coach Central is your hub for managing your coaching staff abilities and play sheets. The overview tab shows your coach's status, abilities, and approval rating, which reflects how well you're managing key groups: the GM, the staff, the players, the fans, and the media. A low rating could cost you your job. The abilities and play sheets tabs let you track progress, unlock new items with staff points, and view upcoming or locked content. And when it comes to the approval rating, if your rating is too low and your support is weak, you might find yourself out of a job. If you do hang on, your approval rating carries into future.
I know a lot of y'all niggas can I know a lot of y'all niggas can feel to that. So in Madden, if they kick you off your motherfucking ship, you is straight ass. I don't want it. What's it in the game? I don't want to hear none of that. You was straight ass.
Seasons. A rough year can put you on the hot seat, forcing you to bounce back and rebuild trust with the key groups following the season. So that's something I think is interesting. I like that aspect of things. Moving on to player traits, Madden 26 will introduce 50 unique player traits that shape AI behavior, making CPU players feel more realistic. For example, Josh Allen's run-over trait makes him more likely to power through tackles. These traits apply to all positions and draft prospects.
Boy, I need to listen, but I thought that nigga said trade.
And we already know about this because they talked about this more in depth in the gameplay deep dive, because this is more of a gameplay thing here where the traits are going to make players play like their real life selves. So Kyler Murray is going to be a little more sporadic when he scrambles. He's going to have his running motion. Some quarterbacks are good at navigating the pocket and scrambling around, but keep their eyes downfield and will always wait for that last second to still try to get the pass off before they run. Things like that. So this is a gameplay thing, but this matters a lot for the CPU gameplay in your franchise mode, because like they said, they want every week to feel different. So you want to feel like Kyler Murray is different than Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. So these player traits in theory should help week to week teams feel unique. And here are just some examples of some of the player traits up on the screen here if you want to pause it and read it. This will just give you an idea of what they're talking about.
We're a fragrance company.
Yeah, fragrance, my nigga. I ain't asked for this, man. Oh my god, bro. It's another 15-second shit, man. Oh my, it's another ad. Damn, bro, these shits be long as hell. Thank you.
Let's talk about opposing coach DNA and real-time coaching AI. Madden 26 introduces Coach DNA, a system that reflects each NFL head coach's strategies and behaviors, making each matchup more authentic. Powered by data-driven coaching, a machine learning model trained on real NFL data, the AI now calls plays based on real-life tendencies. This includes dynamic coach suggestions and personalized strategy. For example, Dan Campbell takes more risks. Nick Sirianni is going to focus more on RPOs. Again, we heard about this a little bit more in the gameplay deep dive, but this is big for franchise too because you want the coaches you're going against to call the game like they would in real life.
So for friends, I'm the gamer. I want everybody mode to. If you play franchise, if you play MUT, if you play now head to head, if you play the superstar mode, I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be good all around the board. So, what this mean in a deeper detail? Where if you got, you know what I'm saying? Say you got Nick Sirianni 1 week. You got to scheme up against him. You got to really take your time, scheme up against him. And then when you you got Dan Campbell the week after that, you got to change it up. You got to switch it up that's dope. Hopefully it work, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie. Hopefully it work. Hopefully the AI ain't cheesing. You know what I'm saying? But I just want everything to be good. All right. So hopefully, when it comes to this plan, so if I play, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna say San Antonio. God damn it. Say I play the Vikings, right? Who the fuck they coaches? I don't even know who they coaches. Hopefully he coached different. The players play different around their coach, depending on what schemes they run. So that's dope about that.
That should really help franchise feel a little bit more alive if you feel like each team, again, is truly unique. Here's another big one, wear and tear. We heard about this a little bit in the other deep dives as well, but they are introducing wear and tear, which tracks every hit a player takes to reflect real-life health management. Overusing stars like Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson will impact the
realize this shit look like Man 16. The shit. Or the older mans. I'm gonna just say older mans, because I think Man 25 that same shit. And I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about PS3, PS2. That's how the background
performance as the season progresses.
I said PS3,
with dynamic
PS2,
sub and full slider
PS3,
customization,
PS4.
you can adjust workloads and keep players fresh. Injuries have a recovery range rather than fixed weeks, adding suspense and realism. Now, there's something called dynamic injury status. It says injuries evolve week to week, influenced by factors like wear and tear. Players may improve or worsen, adding unpredictability to availability. You can now rest individual players instead of just adjusting by position, making for more strategic decisions. After training, you'll see updated statuses: out, doubtful, or questionable, and XP gains, helping you decide if a player is ready to play. And this is where trainer roles and abilities come in. There are certain abilities that will help you manage wear and tear. These can help you recover faster, reduce injury risk, and improve chances of returning from injury. You'll activate trainer abilities each week in weekly strategy, giving you more control over player health. Now let's move on to some of the really good stuff that people have been waiting many years for. Let's talk about broadcast packages. It said that they're thrilled to finally give players the experience
I like
of
that. Hold on.
time.
See, I like that shit. I ain't gonna lie, I like that. Hold on, I ain't gonna pause.
Players fresh. Injuries have this. It says availability. You can now rest individual players instead of just adjusting by position, making for more strategic decisions. After training, you'll see updated statuses: out, doubtful, or questionable, and XP gains, helping you decide if a player is ready to play. And this is where trainer roles and abilities come in. There are chances of Now let's move on. Finally give players the experience of 3 prime waiting many years for. Let's talk about broadcast packages. It said that they're thrilled to finally give players the experience of 3 primetime broadcast packages in addition to the new Madden package. Each primetime game is composed of premium assets with a different look, sound, and feel. So Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night games will all look and feel different. So you're going to see different scoreboards for these games, custom broadcast graphics for pre-games, drive starters, and touchdowns. There's also package-specific wipes for players and teams. And it says one of the favorite things they've created for each broadcast package is an NFL bumper that precedes a game. The stunning visuals and authentic music are complemented by the Super Bowl's annual PA announcer, Al Roach. Last year, we introduced 3 commentary teams. This year, we assigned each one to a primetime package. So Thursday night, we'll have Gaudin and Davis. Sunday night has Tarico and Olsen. Monday night has Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
So will that mean? Because I'm gonna be a little bit more than MUT side. Can I change it for MUT? Like I can, you know what I'm saying? Or is it like, it's just like this different every time you play? You know what I'm saying? Because I know for play now, depending on who you playing, it's gonna be different. I know for, or is it just gonna be like a franchise thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to rock that on, you know, shit on some money, you feel me? You know, shit.
Here about a QB taking the field from Greg Olson's perspective will be different from the games assigned to Brock Heward and Charles Davis. For the games that aren't primetime, the commentary team will be chosen at random. One of the most memorable and distinct elements for the primetime packages are the theme songs. We composed a specific version of each one of them. Our custom audio elements are also delivered in details with the specific sound designs you'll hear for the various banners and wipes. And I got to see a little bit of this when I was down at EA, and it looked and sounded really good. The music actually sounds like something you would hear when you're tuning into these primetime games. The graphics, the scoreboard, it's very unique. And again, kind of going back to what they said at the very start of this blog, they want every week to feel different, and this is a part of that. I'm just glad this stuff is finally here. And that brings us to the halftime report. It says Madden 26 introduces the halftime report featuring highlights from around the league and your friends' games in multi-user online leagues. Scott Hansen hosts with his signature energy, bringing context to matchups and even special moments like National Tight Ends Day. The broadcast package theme songs enhance the epic feel of the show, making halftime a highlight in itself. Finally, after, I don't know what they've been, about 20 years, we've got a real halftime show, not only showing highlights, but it will show your friends' highlights in multi-user leagues. When a friend's highlight is chosen for the show, their customized player card will appear on screen. If it's a highlight from a game with 2 other players in your online league, you'll see each of their player cards. And this is something that's never been in an NFL video game before, not seeing your friends' highlights in a league. So I'm just glad that, look, we've waited forever for this. We all agree it should have been done a long time ago. It's finally here. And I feel like they kind of came in a big way with it. I mean, they
hopefully that works.
got Scott Hansen, which is like the perfect person to get for it. And it sounds like he's going to also personalize things and mention important moments. And they also added a weekly recap show in the franchise hub showcasing highlights from across the league and your multi-user online leagues. Hosted by Scott Hansen, the recap includes insights like first-year head coaches wins, win streaks, playoff races, and postseason clinches. Again, we've waited so long for this, and the fact that we're getting all of this in the same year to me is kind of crazy. Like I said, EA's been building to some of this for the last few years. They finally started to take the mode more serious, but
it's that money coming in from that college, man. That's what it is. It's that money.
It seems like this year,
so
it's
if
just
they
a lot coming in.
look, if they, all right, so y'all gotta remember, they just announced college football might be coming back, or will be coming back. I'm saying they get even more money from that. They can diverse and split up for the next Madden, the next college football. They can do that. The more games they got under their belt means the more money they can possibly earn for the next group of games. You know what I'm saying? They still got FIFA. They still got some other Johns up in there. Other titles in there. They definitely, if Madden's, not Madden, yeah, even if Madden 26 and college football do good, and then when college basketball do good, you will see better improvements because they have more money. They will have more money to put into the game and then get even more money out of your. I'm saying, what the fuck is this portal?
We've been waiting for, so it to me it's kind of overwhelming just because we were not used to seeing this much delivered at one time. And of course, we know about the football weather because they've talked about it in other deep dives, but it does say that they wanted to bring authentic weather to franchise mode, fine-tuning conditions like snowstorms in Green Bay or sunny days in LA. Weather now impacts gameplay with fog reducing visibility, slippery conditions affecting movement, and precipitation testing speed, acceleration, and change of direction. Teams familiar with cold weather like Buffalo or Green Bay will perform better in the snow, while warm weather teams will struggle. Dynamic weather, realistic wind patterns, and varying conditions make each game feel unique. And that's not all. We've also got some core improvements. They've improved the draft logic, it says. Now, I mean, they say this other years too, so we kind of have to see how that plays out, but it says that it enhanced the draft logic by reflecting real NFL trends. More linemen, especially interior defensive linemen, are drafted, and teams are now willing to draft multiple cornerbacks or wide receivers for depth. Running backs are also valued more, with teams willing to take them earlier. The draft values positions like linebackers, safeties, and edge rushers more accurately. And it says there's new draft prospect generators as well, adding unique traits to rookies for more variety and personality. New player types include gadget players, long snappers, specialized Sam Will linebackers, and rare tight ends, running backs, and safeties. They've also tuned retirement logic. It says it improved retirement logic to keep star players like Derrick Henry from retiring too early, even if they're performing well. The system now focuses more on a player's overall rating rather than just position ranking, allowing veterans to continue playing if they're still effective. It says additionally, cases where players stayed too long have been addressed, making retirement decisions more realistic and aligned with real NFL careers. They also talk about progression and regression logic. It says that Madden 26 improves player regression to follow real-life aging curves with position-specific decline rates. Development trait regression now only drops 1 tier per season based on performance rather than random chance. Players must hit higher statistical benchmarks to maintain their traits, rewarding consistent success. Ability progression is also updated, making player archetypes feel more distinct, with different stat boosts for each type. And they also talk about game and season simulation stats. This is a big one because no matter how many features you bring to the mode, no matter how much you can do for the mode, this is one of those few things that can really hold the mode back for a lot of people. If the sim stats don't seem realistic, it really ruins it for a lot of people. So we have to see how this plays out, but it says that they improved franchise.
Is this where certain niggas shouldn't have certain rewards? They be having random niggas be having, like, you know what I'm saying, some dumbass stat that they shouldn't have. That's that shit is about.
Sim stats by reducing the impact of playbooks on the sim engine, making stats more realistic. The sim now focuses more on matchups than playbook assignments, which prevents unrealistic outcomes like a QB targeting one receiver too much. While playbooks still have an influence, the shift to matchup-based decisions has resulted in more balanced stats. And the team is continuously refreshing the engine to achieve exciting but authentic outcomes, ensuring memorable, realistic moments for franchise. Now, again, we got to see that to believe it. That's just one of those things. I mean, I know it can be a hard and tricky thing to get right, but an improvement there would go a long way. Madden 26 will enhance player morale to reward breakout performances, especially for younger players for those with lower ratings. If a backup steps up due to injury, their morale gets a significant boost, leading to a potential rating increase and faster progression. This helps players stay motivated even on losing teams and gives them an edge when battling for a starting job. They also talk about revamped player tags logic. So up on the screen here, you can see that they've addressed a few of these. You can pause the screen if you want to read it. I'm going to keep moving along because the video is already getting pretty long, but they did revamp a decent amount of the player tags to make them better. They also updated news stories. It says new weather forecast top stories alert you to weather changes such as rain or snow impacting your game and others around the league. Draft prospect stories now have clearer labels, making it easier to follow scouting updates. These improvements, alongside enhanced coaching abilities, weekly strategy, and weather impacts, make this franchise mode's biggest leap in over a decade. And I know this is marketing and it's a tagline, but I mean, if all this stuff does work properly, or at least most of it, it's definitely the biggest leap the mode has taken in a long time. Now let's move over to the presentation side of things. Now this deep dive isn't as long as franchise, so this won't take too long to get over, but this is good for the entire game. But this is also, again, going to be very big for franchise mode because franchise mode players, they care more about these details, I think, than just the average overall player. So it's kind of like a double whammy if you're a franchise fan. So they wanted to upgrade the game day experience this year. That means field art, mascots, stadium graphics, stadium sounds, uniforms, all that good stuff. So with the field art in Madden 26, it says you'll experience real-world recreations of field art when the NFL teams wear alternate uniforms at home. So for example, the Buccaneers creamsicle uniforms will match the field art at Raymond James Stadium. You'll see the unique field designs for whiteouts like Cincinnati and Minnesota, or blackouts for teams like the Eagles and Ravens, or the retro field art for teams like the Dolphins and Patriots. And it said the Texans special event looks will also be included. There are many alternate uniforms and field art combinations to discover. This might seem like a small thing, but like when you come out in an alternate uniform that looks completely different than your regular uniforms and the field is like different colors than what you're wearing, just kind of looks weird. I'm glad they finally addressed that. They also said that they're reintroducing mascots. These have been out of Madden for a while, and they kind of needed to come back for a while, but they obviously needed to rescan them and do them proper because, you know, we're further along now. Technology's better. So they wanted to give the best recreation.
Hey, bro, what's the last time mascots been in the game? What the fuck? Okay. Bro. What? Mascots was in last year. Damn, they wasn't. That's tough.
Possible. It said that they started with full scans. They scanned the mascots at the Pro Bowl, or in some cases, teams sent in mascots to them. And it said that they have 18 available at launch. They don't have every single one. They also noted there are 5 teams that don't have in-stadium mascots. So they've got 18 of the 27. It sounds like they're going to try to get the rest in an update, but here is a list of the mascots that's in the game now. And it says you'll see the mascots throughout the matchup and pregame runouts during gameplay on the sidelines, reacting between plays. So pretty cool there. They also updated the stadium motion graphics. So you're going to see the real-life teams graphics on the scoreboards or whatever video boards are in the stadiums. The team sent them over to EA, so now they're going to be just like you see in real life. And it says they have motion graphics for 26 teams. And it says similar to mascots, they plan to add the rest of them in an update because teams are still sending them. So here are the 26 teams that do have their graphics in the game. So it's most teams have them. They just need to get a few more. They've also upgraded the stadium sounds as well. And if you can tell here, the success of college football and how well it was received definitely had to have an impact on this game because so many great things about college, it's coming to Madden now. They're putting that same care into Madden, which is a great thing. And it says for Madden 26, the sounds will play a key role in immersion with authentic stadium effects added throughout the collaboration with NFL teams. For example, the Vikings horn sounds are different on first and third down. The outdated sound effects like the Chargers electric zap have been removed. New crowd chants and reactions such as Who Dey in Cincinnati or Who Dat in New Orleans are recorded from tens of thousands of fans to enhance the atmosphere. They also briefly touch on equipment as well because I guess they kind of consider that part of presentation, and it said that they overhauled the uniforms this year to give them a better look. You'll see more wrinkles and a tighter fit. You'll just notice that they also just look better. It's one of those things when you see it in person, the helmets and the uniforms, you can tell that there's more detail in them than in previous years because they kind of refreshed them all. They mentioned things like coaches' hats and visors have 3D embroidered team logos, and team logos are even on thigh pads now. There's also new equipment that they mentioned here from Adidas and Nike, like the Adidas snakeskin cleats and the Nike Edge Pro 362 cleats. face masks now automatically match the helmet style, which is a really great quality of life change. It says Under Armour gear has been returned to the game because now they're back in business with the NFL. It says they also did work with Team Builder. It's now got a new look and will be 2 times faster. It says render performance is greatly improved, so Team Builder will work on a wide array of devices and lower end machines. Same thing they said for college football. They also mentioned that the game will now have light show runouts for primetime games with powerful orchestration of sights and sounds. And it says you got a sneak peek of some of those with the reveal trailer. We saw some of it, little glimpses of it. It says in the reveal trailer you saw Randy Moss doing the skull chant, and it said there's going to be other NFL legends returning to their former teams to perform pre-game traditions. It says a few examples of that are Rob Gronkowski ringing the bell in New England as the keeper of the light.
Don't forget,
also returning to Carolina to bang the pounding drum. Charles Woodson lighting the Al Davis Memorial Torch in Las Vegas. Joe Montana blaring the foghorn in San Francisco. And it says some of the mascots also take part in the traditions. For example, Big Red gets things fired up by cranking the Big Red Siren in Arizona. And it says one of the most challenging traditions to pull off was Freddie Falcon doing his spectacular zipline stunt in Atlanta. So they got all that stuff in the game. It says they also included stadium music. It says they licensed 40 plus songs from a variety of genres for stadium music. Some of these songs will be nostalgic for longtime Madden players.
I don't want to hear no boss moves. Y'all gonna have E40 in there? Or I don't want to hear it. I'm gonna cut that shit straight off. I'm telling y'all niggas, I don't want to hear no boss moves. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or throw it in rotation. Throw it in rotation. I don't want to hear that, bro. If they talking about they got music in here, bro, it's gonna be something. It's something every year, bro, with Madden and their music. You gonna lose? Say you lose to some BS. Throw it in rotation. I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that. All right, I don't want to throw it in rotation, bro. Nigga, I just lost. You talking about some throw it in rotation, bro? That shit gonna make me mad. Make me want to punch my goddamn TV, bro. Like, come on now.
Here's Personally Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand takes us back to Madden 05. It says some of the stadium songs include Lil Uzi Vert's Just Wanna Rock, Beastie Boys Sabotage, Chapel Rowan's Hot to Go, Flow Riders Right Round, Foo Fighters The Pretender, Metallica For Whom the Bell Tolls. Those are just a few examples. So again, they're just making everything feel real life, real music in the stadiums, real crowd chants, mascots, real runouts, light shows, different broadcast packages, halftime shows. I mean, we're getting it all this year. That was a lot to cover. Let me know what you think below. I'm really curious what everybody's thoughts at. Where's the morale at going into Madden 26? Does it finally sound like they want the things in franchise mode and in presentation that you've been waiting a long time for? Are there still some things you're looking for that weren't there? Let me know. I'm really curious to see.
Hey, it looks good to me. I'm not gonna lie. It looks good to me. Hopefully he said it. I said it. Hopefully everything works perfectly fine. But yeah, only time will tell. College football do come out next week. Come out on the 7th. So I will be watching. I won't be playing. I'll be getting ready for Madden 26. The only reason I'm not getting college football 26, I don't know that many. All I know is Archie, Ryan, the Sniff dude. You feel me? I don't know that many players. So, but man, I damn near know at least from every team about 3 niggas. All right, so that's why I'm not getting college football, but I'm getting Madden. So, you know what I'm saying? But I'm out of here. Let me know how y'all feel about all this. I'm fucking with it. You feel me? But I'm out of here. Subscribe, like, share. Yeah. Hopefully this game works. Like I said.